Hi, my dear learners. I am your teacher, Teacher M. Our lesson for today is faulty logic reasoning. We're going to discuss the different types of faulty logic. This is week 6, quarter 3, module. English 9. Learning competency. Judge the validity of the evidence listened to. Objectives. At the end of the module, you are expected to interpret the information listened to, recognize faulty logic, unsupported facts, and emotional appeal, create a slogan on the importance of validating information. Alright, let's recall. Tell me if you agree or disagree with the following statements. Honesty is the most important quality of a friend. Answer: agree or disagree. Yes, your answers may vary depend upon your reasoning. Parents should impose time limits for their children's screen time. Answer: agree. Alright, living in the countryside is better for you than living in a city. Answer: agree or disagree. Your answers may vary depend upon your reasoning. Okay, next. Life is easier for children now than 50 years ago. Answer: agree. Alright. Learning about science is more important than studying history. Answer: agree or disagree. Your answers may vary depend upon your reasoning. Thank you. Why do we have to learn about it? Alright, before we proceed, we will be answering these 3 questions. Let's break it down. First, what is faulty logic? Second, how do we identify faulty logic? Third, why do we need to know how to identify faulty logic? Now, are you ready to learn? Let's go! What is faulty logic, Teacher Ems? To understand it, let's define 2 words. First, what is faulty logic? Faulty means having defects, weaknesses, or imperfections, while logic refers to reasoning or making defective or weak reasoning. Therefore, faulty logic means making defective or weak reasoning. Faulty logic is another kind of persuasive technique. Some oral arguments hide faulty logic or weak reasoning through emotional appeal, wherein they target the feelings of the listeners or the audience. Where do we see faulty logic used? We see faulty logic almost everywhere, such as in newspapers, editorials, commercial ads, conversation, books, magazine, TV shows, and social media. Faulty logic has several forms which include circular reasoning. The writer or speaker or author supports a claim with restatements of that same claim. The argument goes around and around with the reason making the same claim as the original argument. Example, Paulo Coelho is a wonderful writer because he writes so well. Okay? The second half of the statement says basically the same thing as the first half. Okay? Next is overgeneralization. The writer reaches conclusions from a limited number of facts. Look for words such as all, every, and always. Example, I love that Netflix series we saw with Yoon Bin. I am going to download all of his series and I am sure I'd like all of them. Explanation to that, it is an imperfect judgment or faulty logic to assume that you will love all Yoon Bin series just because you love one. Next is self-contradiction. The writer states a position that contradicts an earlier stated promise. Example, as mayor, my top priority will be improving education. So my first act of office will be to cut funding for our public school. Explanation to that, cutting public school funding contradicts the mayor's first statement that improving education will be his top priority. Alright? False causality. This occurs when two events happen at the same time and an assumption is made that one event causes the other. Example, our house was vulgarized right after that new family moved in next door. Explanation to that, this statement attributes a false cause, new family next door, to the effect the vulgarity. Okay? Oversimplification. This occurs when a single cause is assumed to have created a problem or an issue. In reality, the problem or issue may have been created by a number of causes. Example number 1. Teenagers have bad skin because they don't wash their faces. The statement is too simplistic. This statement argues that there is only one reason for teenagers' skin problems. In fact, there are numerous causes. Example number 2. I know why you failed all your classes last quarter. You don't study. Alright? There could be many reasons why a student experiences difficulty in school. Reducing the problem to just one solution is oversimplifying. Next is emotional appeal. It's used to sway the emotions of an audience to make them support the speaker's argument. It uses the manipulation of the emotions rather than valid logic to win an argument. Since emotional appeals are very strong, they can sometimes be used inappropriately in order to gain something from the audience members, like this: happy, son, shy, surprise. Alright? Example, an emotional appeal could be used in a political rally to persuade people to vote for the candidate, especially if the vote will happen in the next few days. Emotional appeals are especially prevalent in advertising. Okay? Alright, When fashion magazines play on our insecurities about body image, they're using emotional appeals. And when political ads play on our fears, telling us that voting for someone will lead us to financial ruin or worse, they're using emotional appeals. Okay? Where you will be able to take note of that? Well, let's take a quiz. Let's apply what you have learned. Here are statements that show different types of faulty logic. Identify the type of faulty logic expressed in its statement. Right circular, reasoning, overgeneralization, self-contradiction, false causality, oversimplification, or assumptions. Alright, let's take number 1. You got a good grade on your essay because the teacher likes you. Answer: false causality. All teenagers are irresponsible. Answer: overgeneralization. I hated the movie because it was the worst movie I ever saw. Answer: circular. Next, I argued with Mr. Paris because I turned in my homework so I got a bad grade on my paper. Answer: false causality. Next, the first rule is that there are no rules. Answer: self-contradictory. Alright, for the Let's Create part of your module, this is your assignment. Your goal: you will create a slogan that advocates the importance of being vigilant and critical when we encounter new information, especially during this time of pandemic. Alright, your role: you are a student who wants to join the slogan making competition of your school as part of its awareness campaign on the importance of being a vigilant or critical consumer of information. Alright? Alright, your audience, your target audience are your teacher, family, and friends. Situation: your school is conducting a slogan making competition as part of its awareness campaign on the importance of being a vigilant or critical consumer of information. Alright, your project performance: on an Oslo band paper, create a slogan advocating about the importance of being a vigilant or critical consumer of information, especially this time of pandemic. Alright? Remember, we need to recognize faulty logic. It is better to consume accurate information and products. Alright, class? Yes, I have fun learning with you, but I have to say goodbye for now. I hope you will join me again on our next adventure, and oh, don't forget to share this video and bring your friends with you next time. Alright? Once again, thank you so much and keep safe everyone. God bless. Thank you very much.